Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Jared Brandon, all the way down in Nashville.
Billy Spitfire Unlimited.
Hey everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We're thrilled to death that you're listening to our show. We've got a full house tonight because sitting across from us at the corner of the table in no man's land, well, chair number 3 anyways.
Yes.
Who are you, sir?
My name is Eric Merrow.
Yes.
Very good. Eric Merrow, this is your 3rd time on the show.
Thrice.
This is the only one in person so far.
Yeah.
Yes.
Previously, we talked to you because you were a content creator, and then we talked to you mostly about like amp solutions.
We did like home recording stuff.
Yeah. And when I say amp solutions, like not big giant amps. How do you record in your home and do all that stuff?
Yeah.
Right. Well, we've got a great show because we're going to talk about what you're up to these days. I know life has changed for you quite a bit.
That is true.
Eric, for those who don't know, aren't familiar, can you give us the, you're going to go to floor number 3. We're at the ground floor. Ding, go.
My name's Eric. I create guitar-centered...
Oh, it's a Japanese elevator. We're already there.
Man.
So,
Whoa. Hold on.
I'll catch you on the way down.
no, keep going. Sorry.
I make videos on YouTube and Instagram about guitar stuff, pedals, amps, recording.
Demo a lot of gear.
I demo a lot of gear.
Yes, he does.
And you talk quite a bit about it and how that's working with other stuff. It's not just like, here's the thing and dink it and you're out.
Yeah. I try to explain everything.
That's what I do.
And try to explain everything.
Dink it, and I'm out.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to hear me play. Go ahead.
I try to explain features of pedals or whatever I'm demoing in a concise way.
Yeah.
I've been complimented on the way that I describe things, so I'll just keep going with that.
Yeah, and I think it's also interesting because you make songs out of stuff. You're working them into to an actual song structure kind of thing, which is kind of nice. Anyways, we're gonna get all up into that. But like I said, wow, we got a full house. We got 5 of us here today, which is very exciting. We missed Billy last time. We missed Jared last time. But that last episode was Jimmy Walker Dynamite.
Oh, I listened to it today. Very nice.
Yeah. Alan was just...
That Alan is a great dude.
Such a great guest. No pressure.
Yeah, I mean,
pressure.
yeah. Let's just get that out.
Yeah.
You will be disappointed.
Anyways, all right, guys. Why don't we get... wait. Hold up.
He's got something to read.
Yes. We've got a brand new poobah.
Yes?
Very exciting. Man, it's been a good month.
Yeah.
I like that we have so many new people that we get to bring into the fold, you know?
Can I ask for a raise now?
What?
Yes, we all get raises.
Great Lakes guitar pickups. A new Grand Poobah. And he says, as you hopefully know, we usually offer a bunch of questions, and these are in the form of the answers of the questions.
Okay.
My main gear of choice is 60s and 70s Gibsons and Rivera amps.
Okay. I can live with that.
Yeah. He says, I love the floor and the floor. I love the 4 on the floor. I got it. My mouth is working. I love the 4 on the floor. And would you rather? Guests are always great. Well, that's good because we got a lot of them.
Yes.
Been listening on Spotify and over and off and on for a few years. I heard about the podcast through Jared, who is an acquaintance.
I
hope to say friend.
Jared gets a raise.
Of course he's my friend.
And a mentor to me in obvious ways. I first heard about the podcast through Jared, as he mentioned. Listening to the podcast does not feel right without a fez, so that's why he's joining.
Nice. I agree. I mean, I think everyone should join at the Grand Poobah level so they can have a fez.
Yes, if nothing else. But as he well knows, as he
Well, as he well knows.
Did I break myself? What happened?
Yeah, I think you broke your brain.
He's stuck in a loop.
I'm sending you back to copywriting school.
No. As he knows well.
There we go.
I knew it was wrong.
As well he knows.
As well he knows. As he knows well.
You're digging a well.
As well he knows.
All right.
Punctuation.
You guys look him up on Instagram or Facebook. That dude is a sick.
I just followed him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah, we got to have him on someday. He's a very interesting person.
Cool.
Really cool cat, man.
Very good.
I love that.
Thank you so much to the Great Lakes Guitar Pickups. That's how he wants to be known as. So we're going to stick with that.
Okay.
For joining us and for sharing those nice little factoids about you. It's always good to get to know you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, we've got a lot to talk about. So let's get on with our music
get on
this
with
week.
it.
We got a lot.
Chop, chop.
I want to welcome the sultry, the sumptuous Tanya Bolonsky.
Tony! Let's hear it, Tony.
Well, Mr. President. Well, this week, actually yesterday to be more precise, I'm going to recommend people that don't know this band or don't know the history of this band to watch this documentary. It's on, they've just brought it back onto Amazon Prime. So if you have an Amazon membership, watch this. It's called Big Star, Nothing Can Hurt Me. I've seen this now. This was my third or fourth time watching it. Mm-hmm. And I'll admit I was kind of late to the game in liking Big Star or knowing much about Big Star other than a couple of songs. And how I first heard of Big Star was through bands that I liked, like the Replacements and REM and Posies, and everyone was quoting Big Star as a major influence. And so years and years ago, I said, okay, I'm going to check this out. So I did, and I picked up the first album, which they kind of jinxed themselves in two ways. They called themselves Big Star, and secondly, their first album was called Number One Record.
Oh.
Number one album. But, I mean, most people might recognize probably their biggest so-called hit was the theme from that 70s show.
Oh, my gosh.
We're all right, we're all right. Cheap Trick actually recorded it for that 70s show, but it was originally done by Big Star.
Wow.
But it's just an incredible story. Alex Chilton and Chris Bell were the principals. Alex Chilton, of course, was known for his work in the Box Tops. Yeah. Everybody kind of knows The Letter. A 16-year-old kid singing that song with a gravel voice. And when he's singing in Big Star, you would never know it's the same person. But anyhow, it's a great documentary. It's well done. It's filled with lots of information. And I highly recommend everybody watch it.
The Replacements had a song about Alex
Chilton. That is correct.
There's a Chilton cheese.
That's cool. That's on Amazon, Netflix, huh?
Stilton.
Yeah, that's close. Maybe they're cousins.
Yeah, they could be.
Okay, check that out.
Cool. That's a good idea. We should all do that.
We should watch
on our own time.
We should watch it
Not
together.
Yeah,
with popcorn.
We'll jam the waves. All right, Jared, how about yourself?
Oh,
no. Just kidding. We're gonna check in with Eric.
Me.
Sounds good.
Okay. Oh, I got a new guitar.
That's always a good guitar week.
This is one place you can be applauded for getting a new guitar.
Yes, my friend Steve, who runs Does It Doom, the YouTube channel where he teaches lessons, he's also branched out into making pedals, making pedal boards, and now guitars.
He's doing pedal boards too?
Yeah, he's doing pedal boards.
Okay. It's like wood ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And he started a company called Woodwright with the people from Woodbine. So it's kind of like a Fender Squier thing. Like Woodbine is the custom shop, and then Woodwright is the import line, the more affordable line. And they did a run of just like a handful of lefties, and I got one. I got a Silver Burst. It is the Warlord. The model name is the Warlord, and it's it's based on the First Act custom shop DC6. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like a big SG style, like double cutaway
Those are
sort of thing. Yeah, it's really cool. It's very heavy in both sound and weight.
Like really heavy, man.
Yeah, dude, it's so heavy, bro.
Yeah, very cool.
Nice.
Was the Silver Burst a request?
No,
Or-
well, they had 2 finishes. They did Gold Burst or Silver Burst, and so I wanted a Silver Burst.
Gold Burst.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool, and you
Yep.
dig the way it plays. Got what's the neck kind of like?
I don't know exactly the profile, but it's not so much an SG like in construction. It's really just a Les Paul construction, but the body shape is double cutaway. The one cool thing is like Steve he caters to like the doom crowd, the heavier crowd. So like they ship all their guitars.
They're optimistic. They're just into heavy music.
Yes, exactly.
Good one. Bonus points, Todd.
Is that what you're going to play on it then?
Sorry, that one threw me off. So he caters to the doom music fan crowd. So they ship all their guitars in C standard. So like it's set up with like heavy strings.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's a really heavy guitar. Again. Yes. It's exactly like that.
I often wondered why guitars weren't already tuned to C. I mean, like a keyboard. It's like, why,
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Or
Billy.
B flat.
It's like,
So they can match horns.
Now that's crazy.
no.
well,
no,
that's
Tony.
true. Trumpets, trumpets.
Trumpets,
Yeah,
B
for
flat.
jazz,
Trumpets.
I suppose.
Jazz,
Trumpets.
man.
Yeah.
Although they do a lot of, C cornets.
No, but that's
and
a
stuff
that's a
in
great
classical.
question,
But anyway,
and
yeah.
that would radically change music. But maybe it's guitars because maybe the human voice is more natural in the G
Everything
scale,
would sound like
Wow.
Wichita linemen.
or the E scale. sorry.
I think we need a history lesson on that fact.
Yeah.
I think somebody should look into that.
You should look into that now.
Do your research. Come prepared,
Yeah,
Billy.
don't be coming on the
And
show
just yell out the
spouting
answer
it.
when I find it.
You want
Yes.
to point out the problems,
No,
but
look it
not
up
the
and yell it out.
solutions. Come on,
yell
man.
It out. Yell it out.
I know this because I read it here.
Yeah.
It was on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's
But yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much my guitar week.
Are they
That's
doing a bunch of other models and stuff?
It's their company is in kind of its infancy right now. They've only done 3 runs of the Warlord, I think. So this is the 3rd run. He told me that they do have plans to do other models. They have this really cool model. I want to say it's called the Switchblade. I can't remember. Sorry, Steve. It's kind of like it's a Jazzmaster with an SG. So like it's offset like a Jazzmaster, but the horns are like SG horns.
Weird.
It's super, super cool.
Huh.
Very cool.
Excellent.
How about you, Jared?
Oh yeah. So they had the Nashville Guitar Show down here,
I know.
and so they had the dealer. The dealer night was Friday night only.
That's how
the
we'll know
general-
if Jared's an AI or not, an AI bot, because it won't do that. It won't clear its throat when it starts.
What if they program it to do that?
Yeah, that's true. They could. Go ahead, Jared.
So Friday night is dealer's night down at the Nashville Guitar Show, dealer setup.
Is that where
And-
the guys play cards?
Oh man, Jared, you're never gonna get through this. Okay, stop. Tony, that's uncalled for. Let him finish.
So Friday night's dealer's night down at the Nashville Guitar Show, and I took some notable instruments that I took. I took my Jimmy Page Telly.
I remember.
Awesome guitar. I just never picked it up and played it. So
no bond.
thinning out the herd here. My 70 Les Paul Custom. My
That must have sold so fast.
What
was the first one that sold?
before I got there? I had 2 different deals going before I even got there.
Jeez.
So, because half the dealers there I knew from when I was at Brandon Wound for, and I just did a lot of shows, so I knew most of the people there. Mm-hmm. So I sold all my stuff Friday night, and I bought a table thinking I was going to be there all weekend. And I can't believe it, but I sold the Marshall cabs that I wanted to. It's hard to sell cabs, man.
Yeah,
it is
I'll
really
say.
hard to sell Marshall cabs. I sold them. I sold everything that night.
So did you move all that stuff in by yourself?
A dealer buddy saw me in the parking lot and he helped me carry a few guitars.
But you had to move the cabs yourself.
Well,
One under each arm for Jared.
The Amigos Guitar Show, they had a couple of big industrial carts with big tires.
Yeah.
And so I moved a lot just on that thing.
Oh, nice.
It was only like maybe 2 trips. Yeah, it was
good
great.
for you.
Did the cabs not have wheels?
They do, but it's I think they have the county fair there, and there's animals there, so there's a lot of dirt and gravel and stuff.
That's not good.
Like Vince Gill was just walking around looking at guitars, and him and forgive me, guy from Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, but one of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band members.
I think he was gritty.
He might have been Nitty.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I met him as a nice guy, but everybody talked about Vince Gill, not the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band guy. But Vince, I was standing there with Jimmy Wallace talking with him and looking at his stuff, and Vince walked up to me and said, "Hey, my name's Vince."
Just like that? Is that what he sounded like?
Just like that.
Does he talk like a regular guy?
I know him, and he does.
Just a regular guy. "Hi, my name's Vince." I'm like, "Hi, Mr. Gill." Shook his hand, and we just talked about guitars for a while, and just talked about gear. Had a good time.
That's nice.
Stood around for a while. So,
no, he's a great guy, a great guitar player too.
He's a super warm, genuine person. He's just a really nice person, man. I felt comfortable around him. I didn't feel shaky or nervous.
It's good.
So yeah, I just had a good time there. I got a new guitar as well.
Oh,
so I used my little discount and I got a newer. I actually got a Silverburst Access Les Paul Custom.
Oh wow,
nice.
So this has a volute on it because it was designed to have a Floyd Rose as a bridge, and this one has a stop tail. So I liked it. So
now
they're only 8 pounds too. It's not like a 9,
nice.
10, 11 pound beast.
That's nice.
So it's a lot lighter. It's newer.
Is the Axis, was that designed for Alex Lifeson?
I think it was.
It might have been.
I should know the answer to this. I think it was.
I think his had
sure.
had the Floyd Roses on them, but they also
a
did
lot
this.
of them do.
But that would also match up with the Axe and the Alex and maybe.
So the heel is carved on that one. Is that right?
It is, yes. Carved heel. It's got the belly carved too for belly.
Yes.
So it's a lot lighter. It's a couple pounds lighter than what a custom would be.
Nice.
We sent a black custom with gold hardware to John Fogerty as well.
Nice.
I had to pot some custom buckers and send them to him. So
he's being honored at NAMM this year, along with Chuck D. What's up, Chuck D?
Hey, Fogerty got his rights back, and he's back out on the road doing his own stuff, man.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, great guitar week, man. I mean, that was probably the biggest guitar week I had all year. So.
I'll say so.
I would have liked to have been there, but I'm super glad now that I didn't go down there because you would have sold everything.
Yeah, and you wouldn't. You'd have been sitting at a table by yourself.
Pedal guy behind me had like at least 500 pedals.
He must have been the same one from last time, but they were all retail price. So
maybe they
much.
were.
Pooey on
I just
Yui.
saw all the pedals there, and I was like, Todd would love this.
Yeah.
Wait, so Jared, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead,
Jared,
man. You're on the show. Talk.
You talk.
Speak
you
all
just
the things, dude. You're
Words.
here to,
pickups.
we want to hear from you.
Jared, you just said you had to pot pickups. Are you making pickups at Gibson? I thought you were like a product manager, which I assumed
I am.
was hands off.
So I am a product manager, although I do build prototypes.
Okay, cool.
And I have my own lab, and so I wouldn't, if I wasn't able to make prototypes there, I don't know that I'd even, why bother? Because it's building that thing, and that next new cool thing that's what is really exciting.
Yeah,
so
I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know.
Yeah, I've got a small winder lab at the headquarters there.
Nice.
And that's where I do that. And once in a while when an artist, we'll get an email from ER saying, so-and-so needs a this or that. And so, I'll get it done really quick instead of going through all the bureaucracy of, 100 emails and different people, and it's a big company, man.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
So I'll fill in the blanks if something needs to get done pretty quick.
Cool.
But it's fun of the job.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Jared. Billy.
Yeah. So so this week, my buddy Sam up in Cleveland turned me on to an ad I've been kind of keeping my eye on, but I was never going to get up to Cleveland to see it. But he went and picked it up for me. It's a 1967 Domino.
Anytime you want, man.
What?
I'll roll to Cleveland with
well,
you.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
Domino?
I was out of town. I've been busy.
You have been.
I've been busy. So anyway, I'm gonna get it Saturday. He's bringing it down Saturday.
What is it?
It's a 1967 Domino Californian.
Oh, I know
like
that
a
guitar.
Vox Phantom.
Yes,
copy
with the wood grain pickguard.
It's got a wood grain pickguard. It's got it's like a 5-sided polygon.
Yep.
Shape,
Oh, like the
know.
small sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's got like a
cool.
kind of a triangular shaped headstock.
Yep.
And
That's cool.
It's got 3 pickups and it's got its own Bigsby style thing tremolo on it. And,
Nice.
Yeah,
And
it's white.
It's
white. It's white with the wood pickguard.
That's really neat.
Yeah. So
That's
it'll be
rad.
with
Yeah.
a matching white headstock.
That's super
So
cool,
it will
man.
become a mathematics guitar.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
I like that.
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
I dig that.
Something groovy.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Is that so? That's a vintage one.
It's a vintage one. Yep.
So what year?
Yeah, you said it's
Like in late 60s. Yeah.
60s. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because Eastwood did a reissue
Yeah.
of that years ago. But
Yep.
they have an original.
Does it come with a case?
I don't know.
Oh, all right.
But
What does something like that cost? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh,
You don't have to say how much you paid for it, but how
They
much
were
they-
asking initially like $650 for it, and that's a copy. A real Vox one would probably go for, $700-800, something like that.
Okay.
Maybe
Nice.
more.
Maybe more. Yeah.
Yeah. Very fun. Very fun.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna make. This
Hey, well, how about you, Todd?
Todd. What
Todd,
about you?
what happened to you this week in music?
Yeah.
I had that coming. So I'm gonna jump on the new guitar bandwagon.
Yes.
I had a second. I got really lucky. Second week in a row. I found a Squier Classic 50s vibe.
Nice.
That
Telecaster?
Telecaster, sorry, yes. Telecaster, and I was heading up to go see my daughter up north in Akron, and I, when traveling, I say, "Whoa, what might
Let's
be
buy
up there?
a guitar."
What might be up there?"
Why not?
Right off the trip.
Yeah. So I said, "Hey, I'm just gonna swing in and check this thing out," and it's like
I thought she was coming down.
no, that was this was the week. This was last week. This was last week. So, anyways, it was it's a beautiful guitar, and it's like brand new. It's not a scratch on the thing. And the guy that I ended up hanging out with, Bill, hello. I told you I'd say hello. He's hopefully a new listener now.
Oh, cool.
But he was a really nice fella, and we sat there and talked for, gosh knows, about 45 minutes.
His last name's Hello?
Hello. Yeah, Bill, hello.
Hello, Bill. Hello.
Yes.
Hello, Bill.
And so, yeah, it was fun. Got this, 50s vibe, and Tony already identified a few things. He's like, hey, we can do this and that and the other thing to it, and I think that's a great idea. Just
Brass
kind of
saddles.
Yeah.
Brass saddles.
Compensated brass
Bakelite
saddles.
pick guard.
Bakelite pick
Yes.
Yeah.
You were talking-
possibly new tuners, too, I think.
Yeah. I had a Jazzmaster that came with like slipped tuners, so
Yeah.
like it couldn't even get up to pitch.
Yeah.
It was a classic vibe.
Yeah, let's put some regular cloisons on there.
It's going to be a $500 Squier before too long.
Yeah.
Don't
the
say
pick
that.
guard alone's
I'm
going to be
not doing
$300.
that. I'm not doing that. But it's
Oh, yes,
it's
you are.
cool because it's the all natural sort of that
Yeah.
smoky
Butterscotch.
blonde butterscotch.
Yeah.
With the wood grain, you can still see in it and everything. And yeah, couldn't not do it. And Bill gave me a really, really sweet deal on it, so I couldn't say no.
Well, that's nice. Thanks,
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah, very much so. All right, we are going to get on with things.
So, Eric,
Yes.
there is a particular brand of patch cables that we love and use here
I am aware of this patch cable.
It is called Tour Gear Designs. Are you using Tour Gear Design patch cables?
Unfortunately, I'm not. And I just set up a pedal board, and I was hunting all over for patch cables and piecing stuff together.
No further.
That's right.
Go to Tour Gear Designs. You can get many different lengths.
Okay, yes.
They're very flat.
Oh, I like that.
Very flat.
Low profile.
And the plug is teeny tiny. It's the size of the actual thing.
That's great. Yeah,
of the jack. Thank you.
They're called jacks.
They're called jacks. Or things, if you're like me.
Or
I have a couple mini pedals that are actually top mounted.
Yep.
Yeah. That.
So they've come in a C shape, an S shape, and that's perfect for connecting side to top mount.
Okay, yeah.
So there's one thing more.
What's that?
If you go to the site and you load up your cart, and at the very end, you'll see a space for coupon code. If you type in the guitar knobs, all lowercase, all one word, you'll save an extra 10%. 10%! And these cables are, I mean, they're
already really
reasonably priced
Yeah,
cables for, especially for what you get. You're gonna love these things. And so I'm gonna recommend you go after we're done with the podcast, not during the podcast, but after, go and get yourself some cables.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to do that. Also, I feel like it'd be really helpful for video stuff because those cables wouldn't push the pedals that I demo. So,
Yep.
That is correct. Amundo. All right. Thanks so much for Tour Gear for sponsoring our 4 on the Floor.
Jared?
Let me get a little bit of this. 1, 2, 3. 4 on the Floor.
Okay, 4 on the Floor.
Eric Merrow.
Yes.
What is your 4 on the Floor?
Ready. When did that start?
4 on the Floor?
No, the let me get a little bit of this.
I don't even remember, but it did.
Okay.
Are you good to go?
I'm good to go.
Do not upstage Todd.
Yeah.
He gets very angry.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I want to thank you for letting me redo my 4 on the Floor. My first one, I kind of was going off what I was using live, like last time I played, which was like a decade ago now. So this time I wanted to redeem myself by choosing like cool brands that I've worked with and like make a super versatile pedal board. So number 1 is the B-Tronics Royal Jelly. Mm-hmm. Now that pedal is a parallel blend of distortion or overdrive and fuzz. And it's got 2 presets, so you can choose 2 different blends of overdrive and fuzz. So essentially you could make it just an overdrive pedal or just a fuzz pedal. You know, you could have anything in between. The fuzz mode has 2 different modes. I think it's called a stinger mode. So it's got 2 different sounds. There's an active EQ and a clean blend as well. And so it's just an incredibly versatile pedal. You've got it's got a whole bunch of different sounds. It's got 3 foot switches, so a bunch of different stuff to do. And that's my number 1.
We've actually shared. So Billy, I got that. I had that for a while. Jared and I traded, and then we untraded, and then we traded again, and then we untraded again.
Yeah.
So who is the keeper?
He's got it.
I
He's
now have the
keeping
Royal
it.
Jelly.
Oh, yes.
And Billy tried that out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you did. And yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, there are a lot of parameters that you can get tweaking on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's useful for a bunch of different things. Like you can get like lower gain stuff to like, you know, rhythm, and then you can just get like crazy fuzz. So
yeah,
very versatile.
I felt that it kind of seemed to sit in that lower gain sort of like real cool rhythm kind of vibe.
Yeah,
almost Queens of the Stone Age-ish, you know, sitting in the pocket there.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Well, that's it's an impressive pedal too. The builds on those are just unreal.
Yeah, Philippe and his team over there just do amazing stuff.
Wicked nice people too.
Ridiculous. Philippe, man.
Yeah.
Philippe is great.
He's going to be walking around in a beekeeper costume, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, number 2.
Number 2 is going to be the XS V2 from Old Blood Noise Endeavors.
Okay.
There we go.
Yep. This is possibly, like, it's made it into my, like, best pedals ever category. Like top pedals I've ever played. The XS V2 is a combination of a distortion and a modulation section. The distortion is based on a rat, so kind of the territory that the Royal Jelly wouldn't give, which is like straight up rat distortion, this pedal will give. And it does like really high gain, it does really well at high gain. You can also kind of use it as a clean boost. And then the modulation section can give you delay, chorus, or this kind of pitched up fifth delay. And it's super versatile. You can run either side in series or parallel. You can choose which one comes first. And you can be more traditional on the modulation side, like with the delay and chorus. That's kind of more, straightforward. But that the fifth mode is kind of where it really comes to life for me, because it's a delay, and every time it repeats, it pitches up a fifth. So like you get pitched up and then you get pitched up again and then pitched up again. Yeah, exactly. It's really, really cool. And like you just play different stuff. It's super cool.
Tony's been known to enjoy a fifth. So
or two.
Is that a tenth?
Now that's the smaller size than the OG one.
Yes, exactly. And the upgrades to V2 are super impressive. First in V1 they didn't have, it was just distortion into modulation or parallel. This one you can choose which one comes first. And then on V1 the fifth mode was a hidden feature and it didn't have as much control. So this one has more control.
Gotcha. Well, they make some pretty amazing stuff over there.
Yep. Again, great people making super cool stuff.
How about number 3?
Number 3 comes from our friend Steve Demadash. Mm-hmm. It is the T60 analog modulator from Demadash Effects. And the name, it's such an impressive pedal, I guess. Like at its core, it's like chorus or vibrato. Like if you were explaining it to someone, it's chorus or vibrato, and it gives you a ton of parameters within that. But then you also have like this regen effect, like a regen parameter that you can kind of make it like a flanger because it's really super resonant. You can also increase the chop, which makes it kind of like a step filter a little bit. The EQ is really cool too, because when it's at noon, you have like a flat response. And then if you want less treble and more bass, you turn it down. If you want more treble, less bass, you turn it up, kind of. It's a really cool implementation of EQ. And then you can also choose to you can also choose to run your dry signal into the EQ or not. So it just gives you a whole bunch of different parameters and, a whole bunch of different sounds outside of the traditional chorus or vibrato that you kind of, on the face value, it offers.
Yeah. And if you have the 120, then it's a nice complement to that.
Oh, yeah. So the 120 was going to be on my list, but I really like ultra dark delays, and it just doesn't do that. Mm-hmm. Like it's got too much definition, and it doesn't have a whole bunch of definition, by design, but it's too much for my ears.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Nice. All right. Is that 4? Number 4.
Yeah, number 4. Number 4 comes from, I believe, an executive producer, Ralph over at Wonderful Audio Technology.
Oh, yeah.
What? Yeah, the Ancient Echoes.
Oh, that pedal is fantastic.
Oh, my gosh. He sent me one. I did a video for it. He sent me one, and,
nice.
Immediately it went on my... I haven't been able to put it down. If I'm building a pedal board, the end is always the Ancient Echoes. And it
is remarkable how good that pedal sounds.
Yeah.
And the things that because it's interesting. It does, yes, it's echoes, it does all those things, but it does it in just a different enough way to where you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Why don't more pedals actually do some of this?
Is it an analog or digital?
No, it's a digital. Well, I think it's a digital. It runs off like a pretty common reverb brick, I think, the Belton brick, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And so like it's a reverb pedal at its heart, but he also has designed into it a pre-delay, which is on the echo control. So you can choose how quick or long the reverb kind of reacts to your playing, like when it comes back. He's also got a reflections knob, which
that is super cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a feedback loop. So like if you turn it up, and you play something, it's going to kind of like keep on going, keep on building on itself. And then there's also I can't remember the name. There's a momentary foot switch that you can press down to essentially max the reflections knob out.
Yeah.
And
Summon.
Summon.
Yeah.
It's such a good name. The summon foot switch. And then on top of that, he's added in controls for modulation.
If I recall, I believe he's like really into D&D, and I believe that some of these things were based on that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure some of that, like he's loosely based on that.
I don't know that, but I could see it.
The dampen is a really neat one too.
Yeah.
So we're talking about some things. You got level, dampen, echo, which is also an expression. You can expression out.
Yes.
There's resonance, rate, depth, and reflections.
Yeah.
What about the Kraken?
It sounds great, Billy. I'll bring it in for.
That's a different pedal.
I gave that to you.
Different one.
This is a great pedal.
I've never seen that.
It's the damping control kind of like tames the high end that goes into the reverb.
Yeah.
So like it's still sorry. The reverb is still like reverberating all its frequencies, but you can tame the high end that goes into it, I believe.
And that's
It
always
kinda
a
like
big
softens
problem
it.
with reverbs.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's different than a mix.
Yeah, it's not a mix.
It's not a mix. It literally just kind of like smooths things out and just warms it up a little bit. I actually sent that out to Joey Callio, who has been on the show from Seven Horse. He was mentioning that he was going into LA to record, and he was looking for a new reverb. And I said, I'm going to send you this thing because it's really outstanding. And and this is, I guess you could say, it's delay and reverb together, but it's not in the classic sense of that.
Kind of, yeah. The echo, it's kind of like, it's called Ancient Echoes, so it kind of like, you think like, oh, it's a delay pedal.
It's not a delay and a reverb.
Yeah,
it's
a delay. It's a reverb with a pre-delay.
Right.
So like you can control how long, like when the reverb starts to happen.
And, I mean, realistically, it should just be called it's an echo pedal. Maybe even more so than anything, because
I would say a reverb pedal more than anything.
Okay, all right, I'll meet you in the middle. It's a reco
I'm down with that.
or an everb. Okay. Anyways, that was terrible, but yeah, go check that out. If you're not familiar with this, I would seriously check that pedal out. It's a really, really great pedal. And Ralph is a super solid dude.
Yes.
So, all right, fantastic. That's a great 4 on the floor.
cool. Yeah,
much
excellent.
obliged.
Nice.
Thank you.
On that note,
Yeah.
we would love to find out. This was something recently requested that we do, and this is from our friend Mark Paget, and this is Dirty Little Secret.
Dirty little secret.
I'm still on the fence about that one, but
I think it's great.
Let's explain what that is, Todd.
I think it's great. Sounds creepy.
We just lost our guest.
yeah. So
And he's in the studio.
yeah, incredible. So Eric, a dirty little secret is not something that you want to hide from the world necessarily, because you're shameful of it. It is some cool thing that you have engineered in some way, shape, or form that helps you out with your playing. Could be a stack. Could be like, I gotta put a boost before and after. It could be use like chapstick or something on your picks or anything like that. Some little trick.
Yeah. I have heard the chapstick on the strings for lubricating nut slots.
Yeah.
That's not my dirty little secret. I'm going to go off the stack thing. So one of my favorite fuzz pedals is the Big Muff. But my big complaint, kind of like the Tube Screamer, is not all the frequencies are distorted or fuzzed. So like if you just take a standard big muff, most of your frequencies will be fuzzed, and then the low frequencies will kind of be cleaner. And what I like to do is I like to run a boost, either like a clean boost or something like a tube screamer, like kind of dirty, into the front of a big muff to get everything kind of just like roaring.
Nice.
That is my dirty little secret.
Nice.
Very well done. Very well done.
Cool.
Billy, is that something you have explored in past?
Well, I guess maybe I've done something similar to that by using like a rat and like a TS9, or not a, the 9, not the tube screamer, but the a little bit more metally one, and then the big muff, but then I'd put a BBE sonic stomp. After.
Yeah.
And then kind of pull some of those frequencies into the same, release on your speaker, so it gets a little more definition. But you're still, you're both kind of boosting it before the muff, and then after the muff, you're cleaning it up so that it all comes out nice and
I like that.
slushy.
Kind of like you're
nice
putting all
yeah.
the groceries into the same bag, and the bag is the sonic maximizer, right?
Yeah,
The BB.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about this a little bit. So Eric stopped by my house on the way, and it was kind of fun because I actually got to show things that I have to someone who actually gives a crap.
I know the feeling.
Whenever we have guests, my wife's like, "Go look at Todd's guitar stuff." She doesn't sound like that. It's more, "Go look at Todd's guitar stuff." No, she doesn't. So, kidding.
Is she in a doom band?
yeah, she is. She was kicked out because she was just negative.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, my wife's a sweetheart. But anyways, whatever. Eric, you came over. Sorry, Eric, you came over, and one of the things that I was showing him is that on my board right now, I've been running a souped-up version of a blues driver, and that's going into the Blammo Shrew, which is, for lack of better terms, a souped-up modified Rat. And fortunately, it's a real quiet pedal. That's one of the things that Blammo is like really, really hardcore about, making their pedals very quiet. And so I've got a noisier pedal going into a quiet pedal, which it actually gives it some like odd sonic weirdness.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm doing that so that the rats can kind of sound like flat to me.
Yeah.
And if you have the tone cut, it just, I don't know. It's just it never feels like I'm getting all the frequencies, kind of like you said. It's not a full spectrum. And what's cool is, so if I go and not quite dime the cut to where I get more of a little bit more of a treble, the blues driver has a little heavier bottom end, and somehow when it goes into it, it doesn't just turn into a bigger bottom end. It rounds out all the frequencies.
Yeah.
I get a little bit more sparkle on the top end. I get a little bit more on the bottom end. And so it doesn't just feel like it's getting slammed, you know? So, and that's been working really well because as a single guitar player, I want to be able to
I thought you said you had a wife.
Oh, nice. Well done.
So then do you run that into a muff then?
No
muff.
But you brought the point, and both of you guys were bringing up the point of trying to get more of the fuller spectrum out of a stack. And you were trying to do something that was almost, I guess they were all similar to some degree, because I wanted the attack, but I also needed and big drive, but I also needed articulation, and you kind of lose that when you get into just a singular kind of like pedal, like a Rat or some other kind of distortion, where it just kind of turns into like all the, So, anyways. Interesting. I mean, that's why stacking is really fun, because just like you never know what you're going to get. I mean, and you can waste huge amounts of your life doing that.
And there are no rules either.
No.
Like I think Brady from Old Blood Noise, when he did his 4 on the Floor, he had a reverb first, which is like it.
Right.
You don't do that normally, but Brady does.
But he do.
Yeah. And it probably sounds awesome.
Tony,
Yes.
Jared, anything you'd like to add to this lively discussion that we are having right now?
Yes.
You
I
like,
plug straight into an amp.
yeah, plug straight into an amp. You like a little horseradish on your roast beef.
I actually I'll as far as my reverb, I use the last thing you guys mentioned was where you put the reverb in the line and the pedals.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I have a Native Audio. I almost said Red House, but Native Audio,
The Ghost Ridge.
reverb pedal. Yes,
Yeah.
and probably the best one I've ever had. And I have a 73 JMP 100 watter. And it's been modded to have a master volume. So I have a setting. There's 4 settings, and one of my settings is barely on. But when you use it, the amp's overdrive, you can still have reverb, and it'll sound phenomenal. And you barely give it any reverb at all. But when you slap that overdrive on, it's amplifying the reverb. So and it still sounds good. It doesn't sound overpowering.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's possible. It's just not easy to do.
Oh, for sure. Like if you can run reverb before everything. You just kind of like have to play with the mix a little bit more. And
it's
like you said, barely
it's much
on.
better if it's after, but you got to mess with it.
Perfect. Thank you, Jared. We need to find out. We're entering into our interview portion of the program. Everybody, if you'd like to grab something cold to drink,
Are we recording?
we better
Oh my
be.
God, we
Okay.
forgot to push
Yeah.
the record button again.
I didn't know that I was on a show. I was just talking.
It only
weird
took
stuff.
one time for us to
Yeah,
do that.
that's
Never
true.
do that again.
It's true. It's true. But it scares me every time somebody even
Is anybody
plays
listening?
around with that. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't had any questions from the audience yet. This is
I think I'm going to grab a beer.
I think
from
we need a
last
laugh
summer.
track on this thing.
Well done.
Colin.
So, all right. So, where can people go to find the things that you're doing, Eric?
The best places are probably Instagram and YouTube. It's just my name, Eric Merrow. You can search my name on either one. Instagram, it's at Eric Merrow, EricMerrow. YouTube, it's youtube.com/Eric Merrow, EricMerrow.
Right. Gotcha. Excellent. And something unique about you is that you're a lefty.
I am a lefty, yes. Some say unique, and some say
Cursed.
a negative. Yeah, cursed.
What do
Negative.
you think it is?
I've learned to embrace it. I think it's more unique than a
Okay.
curse.
Well, you're perfect for if you're in a band that is all right-handed players. You're on
Yeah.
the other side of the stage,
Yeah.
and you balance it out.
You know, it's funny. The last band I was in, it was a three-piece. It was me on guitar, my friend on bass, and then drums. And both me and my friend on bass are left-handed.
Oh, jeez.
So like the people watching just got 2 backwards people.
Oh my God.
So you could do selfies and nobody would know.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
See, it works out for me in my band because I have a left-handed drummer.
I was going to talk to you about that because I noticed that your drummer was left-handed.
Yeah, he's left-handed, but that means that he's not really ever facing the hi-hat. So if he was kind of the other way, he'd be looking over at the bass player.
Yeah.
But instead, he's kind of looking over at me. So I tend to get a little bit better eye contact with
There
him,
you
which
go.
is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But it also prevents us from having to use other people's backline.
Yeah, well, yes. But I mean, drums are a little bit easier because you just have to switch out like
You'd think
drums
it would be
and
easier.
the snare and the floor tom.
Yeah.
I also play drums and
Yeah.
I play drums left-handed, so it's
Oh, okay. Well,
it's just
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
it's all over.
so
Dude, you got a lot of videos out there. On
yeah. How
YouTube.
many
Yeah,
do you think
wow.
you have now?
If Billy is on my channel, you
consultant,
might be
Billy,
able.
our technical advisor, is going to give us just shout it out when you get that number.
Yeah,
okay, Billy.
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I went to NAMM one time and I made 90 videos
Oh my.
on my channel and then like 20 or 30 videos on another channel. So like, wow, I don't know.
Right. Okay.
I would say 400,
Wow.
maybe more. I don't I'm sorry, I don't have that statistic.
Sure.
I bet I could find it, and it doesn't matter.
Our technical advisor is working on it right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm at 40 and I'm still counting.
So it's more than 40. It's more than 40.
More than 40.
Are you using
less
all
than
your
500?
fingers and toes, or what's going on, dude?
I mean, you've got ones that are like how to set up guitars, how to all different kinds of pedal demonstrations, all kinds of different technical tips and how-tos. I mean,
well, something that's
insane.
nice also about what you're doing is that you, by day, what do you do?
I make videos.
Okay.
For commercial clients,
commercial clients. So you're well versed in the video, and you've even done several videos on. Hey, so you want to create content?
Yeah, exactly. And those are kind of old, so I kind of want to revisit that a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. But all that is to say is that they're well done. They sound great.
Thank you.
They look great. They're engaging, and unlike most other videos, the headstock's pointing right at you usually. You, the viewer.
Yeah.
So it's not shooting off camera. It's like, ah.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting way to look at things.
I've heard it's easier to learn from a left-handed person because you're kind of like just right there.
Yeah. It's so weird to try to learn how to play something watching someone else because it's backwards.
Yeah.
Right-handed and right-hander.
It's like looking in a mirror.
It is. Yes. Somebody's doing it much better, though. It's not usually me. So, anyways, so you have recently moved, so you had to upend your whole studio.
Yeah.
What have you, as a content creator and as somebody who's, got all the music gear and everything, what are some things that you maybe thought about changing when you made that move?
No, man, that's a difficult one because we moved. So I've moved like 3 or 4 times within like a period of like 6 months to a year. Essentially, when I'm trying to build a new studio for like video stuff, sound is number one, of course. Like you don't want echo on anything, and then like the background, I think, is probably like the next thing to tackle. Mm-hmm. And I've it can be anything. Like you have a lot of people who just do like a white wall with some colored lights on it, like blue or purple or something like that. Sometimes you have a big wall of amps. So like I think those are probably like the first things I can tackle or I need to tackle in order to like get a studio up and running or like a video studio.
Right. What is the most difficult part when you are actually create? So I know that there's a lot of people out there who have started creating content, making demo videos, and doing all that kind of thing. What do you think is the thing that people don't realize when they start doing that, or what they get most tripped up on?
I think what they get most tripped up on is...
This is also based on like questions that you get.
Yeah,
and things,
it's either audio or lighting. Like thinking that you need to have like the highest end interface or the highest end camera to actually start is kind of a big point of, a big hurdle to jump over. I feel like more people can just, point their phone at themselves and then mic an amp or whatever correctly, and then they can just be off and running. Mm-hmm. So those are the two things that are most important, like lighting and audio. So as long as you have enough light and then good audio, you're good.
When you're playing guitars and you got amps and everything, do you think that that's where people are kind of tripping up because they want to have like their wall of amps and stuff? And
yeah, it could be. It could be a couple things. Like sometimes they want to have like a half stack, like maxed out, and it could be, if that's your situation, awesome.
Yeah.
Other times it's that you have to play too quiet. Like if you have a family, you have a kid sleeping in the next room, that could be a huge hurdle to like get a high quality sound out of something that should be making a whole bunch of volume but isn't.
Yeah. Or if your partner like makes, like ASMR videos or something like that, and you're like,
quiet down over there.
I really need him to quiet down right now. Anyways, so is there what's the coolest or key piece of gear that you've got recently? Whether we'll stay in the creator realm, that you'd be like, ooh, this is my baby.
I got a perfect answer. So up until like maybe 2 months ago, I've been using, like, you go on Amazon, you type in softbox video kit or like 3-point lighting kit or something. I've been using that up until like 2 months ago, and I got new lights that you can control with your phone with an app. And that's just kind of like changed everything.
Are they like LED panels?
They're not panels. They're
still soft boxes.
Yeah, they're like COB lights. So they are LED lights, super bright, and I got parabolic soft boxes, so they shine through soft boxes.
Right.
So they're huge, but that's again another thing. Like, you don't have to have the nicest lighting to make something good.
Yeah,
I've been using.
Just start making stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then make it gooder as you get going.
Exactly.
Right, Billy?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing here in my art studio.
Yeah.
Where I paint.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just using old stuff that pulled out of the garage.
I almost put my foot through some of your old stuff the other day when I walked in here. Like,
I'm sorry, I left a mess.
Everyone's a critic.
I was like, man, I almost like trampled Billy's like masterpiece here because it was literally laying on the floor, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm looking out for you.
I was in Vegas. Come on, I left in a hurry.
Yeah. So from a let's talk about some of the gear, because that is the thing that you're doing. You love playing through gear. You love getting into the details of it and sharing that out with everybody. I mean, that's obvious because you have, Billy, how many videos? Still counting.
Dozens.
Okay.
Dozens and dozens and dozens.
What is some of the gear that you have been most excited about as of late, and what are you looking forward to getting into?
The gear that excites me, like I love pedals. Like, even if I didn't make videos, I would be on Instagram, YouTube, looking at pedal demos and stuff like that. The stuff that I would love to, the sort of products that excite me right now are especially kind of like the digital stuff, like the Quad Cortex, the HX Stomp, the new Eventide. You guys had Eventide on here.
Yeah.
I love that episode.
Yeah. That H90 is remarkable.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, stuff like that. Like, I feel like that's where once guitar players kind of just like once guitar players can see, like, hey, I don't have to have a tube amp as a whole, I'm saying. I don't have to have a tube amp. I can get this other thing that sounds just as good.
Especially if you're not like gigging out or something like that.
Maybe not identical to the tube amp, but good. They
great,
can move
even.
forward.
I would say great.
I would say great.
Some of the stuff that we've had in recently.
Yeah, I would say great as well. But yeah, that sort of direction, kind of like just expanding the horizons of the guitar realm, I guess, is kind of what I'm really into. I also love any pedals that come out. I'm just a nerd. And then what I want to get into a little bit is kind of like, we kind of touched on it, Billy. You said I want to get more into like recording, like more into like tutorials about how to record. Like, anyone can record their own music from anywhere, essentially, and you can record it with other people. But it's just I kind of want to help people understand how to do it. So that's something I want to get into a little bit.
Gotcha.
Very cool.
Do you have any, I guess, holy grails of gear that you would really, really like to get your hands on?
I mean, there are too many. There are too many.
Right.
The Quad Cortex for sure. I would
Okay.
love to get one of those. Eventide H90. Yeah, I mean, just anything. Like I don't know. Those are the two things that come to my mind immediately, just because again they kind of push the bounds of everything.
Right. So those are some big players. Obviously, we do a lot of focus on some of the boutique builders and stuff.
Yeah, and those are
whose ear we have right now. So anything exciting that you would like to sort of give a nod to and maybe say, gee, I sure would like to demo that.
The Beatronics CB, they just came out with the CB, and
that's the SEAB.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. And
what does that do?
They're on this kind of like trend of inventing effects. So the one before this was the Zombie, and that is called a filtremulator. And then this one's called the CB, and I believe they label it as a harmochorus. So it's just wild. Like they have two sides which do different things, and they kind of ramp in between them. That's as best I can describe it right now.
Gotcha. Okay. That's fair.
But
That's fair.
So it sounds like many guitarists have not accepted digital amplifiers.
Yeah.
Or at least preamplifiers. Mm-hmm. It sounds like you have, and you're a proponent of using them.
Yeah.
Yet you still get various guitars. You mentioned that you just got a new guitar and you brought one down here.
Yes.
So, do you think that guitar players, even if they do accept digital amplifiers, will still have a multitude of guitars?
100%. That you have to. You have to. You have to have all the guitars, just like you have to have all the tube amps and the plugins.
Yep.
And the modelers.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Love is love, baby.
Yeah.
I just nerd out about all this stuff, except for MIDI. I don't know how to do MIDI stuff, and that's kind of where my brain just stops.
Yeah. Me too. A little bit.
So tell me, I'm curious about your business model for doing this.
Uh-huh.
Is this purely out of your own, just curiosity, or do you get hired to do these things by different companies, different manufacturers?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm kind of in like maybe a new season of my channel and like personal brand, I guess.
Right.
Because I kind of had to take a hiatus, like a forced break last year for like 6 months. And that just put me, I'm kind of like rebuilding. Mm-hmm. But generally, companies will email me or DM me and say like, hey, I've got a new pedal. Yeah. Can you do a video for it? And I'll say, yes, for sure. Sometimes they have a media budget. Mm-hmm. And when they do, I will happily accommodate. Sometimes they don't. And when they don't have a media budget, like I don't want to say, I'm just going to do this for the money. Mm-hmm. So like I love guitar pedals. So if they don't have a media budget, that's cool. I still want to help you get your pedal out there. So I'll accommodate that
because you're building your following and your media presence.
That too.
So,
yeah. And I just like sharing all this stuff. Like cool. Everyone out there has different ears and likes different things. Yeah. So
well, I like that because I'm a visual artist too. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I just do stuff for art's sake, and then once in a while people don't want to pay for it. Yeah. It's like, but I'm still going to keep doing art.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. I love that. You're just doing it for.
He's going to do it.
Yes.
That's not true.
With masks.
That's not true.
With masks.
Just kidding.
I do have a cool show coming up.
No,
April 21st. Yeah.
And we've actually usually when you're not on the show, we actually talk about how good of an artist you are. So don't worry, you're covered there.
That.
You're covered.
But now that you're on the show, we're not going to do.
Yeah, that. now we're obliged to poke you.
Now I got to go back through all the shows and listen for the compliments.
You'll never graduate from art school.
Eric.
Yes.
I
Jared.
have a question for you. What guitar would you want to get your hands on, if there's any guitar that was available today and money was not an issue, what would you order today?
Oh, I've got a few different answers.
We'll take them all.
Okay, before this, I was just up at Chase Gullett's shop. So I would love one of his guitars, the Gullett Guitar Company.
Yep.
I believe, was it Coronado? Cobra.
Yeah,
The Cobra. He has this offset Cobra blue with a descendant vibrato.
Yeah.
Left-handed version of that. 100%.
Yeah.
Next, Abernathy Guitars. I believe he's been on the show.
Yeah.
Justin. He makes incredible guitars, and so I also am kind of like loosely hunting for a left-handed version of my dad's Mustang. So I did a video for Jared, your pickups on my left-handed Jazzmaster, which is a version of my dad's guitar, only left-handed. So I kind of want to do the same thing with his Mustang. And Justin makes I think he calls it a Duosonic Empress, which it's not exactly a Mustang.
Justin of Abernathy.
Yes, Justin Abernathy. He makes the Duosonic Empress. It's not exactly a Mustang, but it's just enough like it that it really makes me happy.
One of the things that I think people are attracted to about his guitars, one of them, he's got his own stylings too.
Oh yeah,
and it's really, really cool. But it's the open headstock.
Yeah,
which is like on a classical guitar.
Yeah,
it's really cool. It's like I'm not exactly sure why more people don't do that. I mean, it must be string tension and strength, wood strength and stuff. But
restringing can be a pain.
Yeah.
Well,
try stringing. Try
Yeah.
restringing a Rickenbacker 12.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Anyways.
I think like those two are the first two that come to my mind of like what I would order.
Did they make
right
left-handed Mustangs? I'm
Yes.
looking at Tony because
I'm sure.
now. Oh, 100%. I know.
Do they have left-handers in the 60s?
I know for a fact.
Okay.
There's a person on Instagram who has exactly my dad's left-handed, like exactly my dad's Mustang, but left-handed. And they're not selling it.
There was this guy in this band. What was it called? Nirvana or something like that. Clerk Cobain or something.
Yes.
I think he had a left-handed Mustang. I think I've seen him with one.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of the Beatles.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I couldn't remember if he did like an upside-down one or not, right? Because I don't care about Kurt. Anyways, it's just not my jam. But
why do you hate Kurt Cobain?
I don't. It's not.
I heard it. Todd Novak.
I mean, he hates
Kurt Cobain.
Dave Grohl, now Kurt Cobain.
He's a southern West Coaster, not a northern West Coaster.
Anti-Nirvana.
I was just, honestly, no, I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not
okay.
I'm going to stay out of that.
All righty.
You want to duke it out about Eddie Vedder?
You lost about 78 listeners.
Man, it's, it's just not my thing.
I'd like to kind of get us back on the road and say I like Nirvana.
Okay.
Wrong with that.
Here.
Yes. We're back in good standing on iTunes now.
They shook the rock and roll scene in the early 90s. So whether you like them or not, you have to just accept the fact that they literally changed. They were a part of changing the whole landscape of what people were listening to on the radio.
Sure.
It went from
100%.
Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue to Nirvana, and then
they're the Beatles of punk music.
they totally turned the corner. Turned the corner.
Wow.
They did, man.
Really?
I wasn't a Nirvana
saw-
fan when they came out. I was not, but I respect what they did.
Well said, Jared.
And Dave Grohl's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I'm not taking away anything from
yeah.
him. Dave Grohl's friends with everybody that's somebody.
Except Todd.
Anyways.
I wish I
And
was.
Fender's been reissuing now that Kurt Cobain guitar. What's that one called?
It's the Jag Stang.
The Jag Stang.
Jag Stang. It's
Jag
like
Stang,
it's a combination of like a Jaguar and a Mustang.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got to play one. The neck is like tiny. and I did not like it.
Well, that's 10 minutes of my life I'll never get back. Anyway, so
You are so welcome.
I like this Eric guy, man. That's cool.
Eric, as we move into the latter portion of our show, anything, any specific shout outs or anything that you would like to recognize? Any people that you think is worth, like, need to get some recognition? That sounds like a Billy word.
I mean, there's so many. Like, if you, all I can say is, like, the people that I've worked with, making videos for, like, have all been, well, largely great people and super supportive, very patient, and, like, just really cool people. So, like, if you go on my channel and if you see me doing a video, it's I like that thing, and I like the person who makes that thing, and just like you say all the time, it's kind of like the people who are making stuff are making it because they like it, and we're all kind of in like the same sort of mindset or something. So like we all kind of get along. Is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
I don't have any specific people, but
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Who is the one, I guess, for lack of better terms, demo artist or content creator or whomever you want to say that was your maybe greatest impetus to get this started?
Huh?
Inspiration. Well, let's just go with that. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, anyone who's doing this who doesn't say Andy from Pro Guitar Shop is lying.
Okay.
So Andy, like, he's the kind of architect, like he's been
especially for your style.
Well, yeah, especially
song and here's the bass line, here's the guitar, here's the rhythm guitar,
Yeah, exactly. Him, Pete Thorne's great. Like all of the big names they're awesome. I try to follow everyone. So like Devon Blue, Mark Johnston, Ian Pritchard, like all of these people. I don't want to name everyone because
that's fine.
I'm gonna.
How about one? Is there somebody that you think maybe we should be looking at more closely that maybe we're not?
I think his name is Eric Merrow.
Yes, youtube.com/Eric Merrow.
Yeah.
That's the answer. I'm just going through my subscriptions right now. The first person I see, Guitar Gnomes. Put out a new thing.
There you go.
Yeah, so Ambient Endeavors is a good one. And then also Fuzzed Drones, Zach from Fuzzed Drones, I believe.
You like the heavier stuff, so that makes sense.
I like all sorts of music, but yes, the heavier stuff is really cool because it's all about like fuzz.
Yeah. Now, actually, on that note, and then we'll kind of we'll segue out of this. But one thing that we were talking about before you came on the show was that it's really interesting the for lack of better terms, doom community, and I realize that people who like heavy music are not all lovers of doom. It's a way for us to say it's all kind of like this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
right?
It's also labeled Doomunity.
Yeah. Okay.
Not Doom Community.
Yes.
You're already out.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I have doom.
Well, there goes the other 30% of the listeners. Thanks, Todd.
I claim Doomunity.
Sorry.
So,
you claim Doomunity.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the interesting things is when you see a show that, and we've had a couple down here, like at Summit. Summit used to have a lot of like doom band. I think what was Nick, the drummer, not Weed Eater, but he was in a doom band. Anyways, you get the big Atlas cabinets and everything, and it's just it moves air and you feel it in your body, right?
Yeah.
Which is one of the things that like I totally understand, right? And that's why we crank amps up, and that's why we like to feel it, right? Which is that kind of music kind of makes you do that maybe more than others, right?
Yeah.
Now, what is an interesting conundrum is that you have a community of players who want all the gear that does that stuff. And the way that they communicated it is on basically like a flat, MP3 that's been crushed, right? So all the stuff that's actually the most compelling aspect of it is like gone, right? And so people that aren't in there and they see the guy standing in front of the Atlas cabin and he goes, and it's like, what? How is that different than the last guy who just did it? And there's different elements of like how much air are you pushing, how big are the vibrations, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's something that I was noticing, and what are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I hadn't thought about that, but like part of the whole the doom thing or like the stoner rock thing is like all of those amps going on at once, so like you're really feeling it. So like watching a video, it is kind of just taking away like one of the key parts of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that's kind of why I like it. It's just kind of like, you can sort of think less, maybe. Not necessarily think less, but like you can do less. You can just hit an open chord and it'll ring out. It'll vibrate your head if you're playing headphones, and it's just a really cool feeling.
Mm-hmm. I'm genuinely curious when it comes to some of the equipment. It's like, what makes people in that genre of music like really excited about, doom pedal X versus doom pedal Y? Like, what is making one better than the other? Because it's certain, when your volumes go through the roof and it's just you're pushing so much air and there's so much distortion. What is a factor that you can actually pull out and say this is the one, not that one?
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same as any pedal. Honestly, it's kind of a mixture of like how it looks. Does it speak to you visually, first of all, because that's the first thing you're probably going to see, right, is the art. So like that combined with, like, does my favorite artist use it? Just the sound, of course, of the pedal. And like, there are so many different drives and fuzzes and distortions on the market, let alone ones that are specifically catered towards this heavy style of music.
Right.
And then, just like, again, like brands or people that they like to support, just like any other pedal.
Sure. And I know I'm speaking in huge glittering generalities whenever I'm saying just a single word to lump an entire, probably 27 micro genres.
Yeah, subgenres. Yeah.
What are some of the artists, in case people are like, man, I'm actually kind of curious about this. What are a couple of your favorite artists when it comes to the heavier bits?
Well, there are a few classics like Sleep or Electric Wizard, of course. My friends have a band called Horseburner. They're from West Virginia, like close to where I live. Their band is really cool because it kind of combines like that sort of heavy. It's speaking of subgenres, it's kind of like there's like doom, which is kind of like big chords, lots of fuzz, lots of ringing out. There's drone, which is just ringing out and like fuzz. And then there's like stoner rock, which is kind of like more like Black Sabbath, like riffy kind of. And Horseburner kind of leans itself more into the stoner rock, I guess.
Sure.
That would be like High on Fire?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. High on Fire. That would be kind of like more of a stoner rock band.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm speaking of this as not an expert. Sure. This is... Yeah. But I would say everyone should check out Horseburner.
Okay.
And that's kind
of... Is it
of
like the Avett Brothers and Drop C or something? Or...
Oh my God, I hope they listen to this because Adam, the drummer, has seen the Avett Brothers more than 20 times.
That's great. All right, my job is done.
Yes.
Yeah, and there goes the other 50% of the audience.
My job here is done as well because all of the listeners are gone.
Yeah. Well, it's been a lot of fun talking with you again, Eric.
See if you guys invite me back.
Yeah.
No jacket for you.
Yeah. We are all going to take this moment to hike up our pants so that we can get into the back of the El Camino.
It's back. I got the tranny fixed.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you guys get that running again?
It is. It's running again.
Yep, it's great.
You know, for I guess conversation purposes, I had a '66 El Camino that was kind of California low, not a low ride. It was dropped, just a little bit, right?
Drop C.
And it was white. Billy, you would have loved it. And the cool thing is, it had the owner put a what's called it's a whistle off of so it used the vacuum from the engine. So you pull it and you go woo. So you go, so you can be like, just kind of cruising and go woo.
Nice.
Isn't that crazy? But if you do it too much, then your engine dies, which is stupid. So
anyways, that's no good.
Yeah,
maybe that's how
cool.
it broke down in the first place.
And it just went. It was great. Okay,
Nice.
Tony,
Perfect.
I love it.
Jared, somebody get us in this thing and get it running.
When I was in the Brighton Blues Band, we had an original song called "My El Camino."
It's a great word.
I'm
too.
gonna bring in a recording.
I would love to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, Jared.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the point of the show where we like to play a little friendly game of Would You Rather?
Here we go.
From that bloke, James Bell. Thank you, James.
And lad.
Cousin to Andrew Bell.
So the subject is, what pirate would you rather be here? That's right. You'd be walking down the plank after your crew has mutinied against you because they're pirates. Glance at the horizon before plunging into one of the 7 seas. Then you see 2 islands, but you only have enough rum-fueled energy to swim to one of them. On one island, there is a treasure trove of all the guitar gear you could ever want. Vintage amps, modern amps, boutique pedals galore, and any guitar that you could wish for. But there be cannibals on this island. And if ye be play above a bedroom volume of 80 dB decibels, they will hear you, find you, shove you in their enormous boiling pot, and eat you. On the other island is a PV Classic 30 and a Telecaster. No pedals, no frills. That's it. Because they're pirates. But there's no cannibals. So you can rock out at whatever volume you like. Which island are you going to swim to? Salty Sea Dog Cannibal Island. That's where all the awesome gear is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or the Bare Bones Island where it's just bare bones.
That's a good one.
Yes.
But no cannibals. No one's going to eat you.
Yeah. Okay.
Pirates aren't going to kill you?
Yeah. The swashbuckling and swarthy Tanya Bolonsky.
And highly marbled.
And highly marbled Tanya. Yeah. Okay. He be Wagyu, Tony. That's what he be.
I've been known to feed a cannibal for a week.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to go with the Cannibal Island.
Why not?
Why not? I mean, I'm
Been looking to lose a little.
Just risk.
Yeah, they'll be chomping at the bit to get to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they've got a pot big enough to put me in. So
I
I
think
might
that's
be
what you're
safe.
counting on. Yeah. You might lose a foot. That might be it.
No, I'd rather have
Play through the headphones.
Yeah, I can always play
That's
through
nice.
headphones. That's true. It's modern gear. You got some of that. But, every once in a while you might have to crank up that vintage gear and risk having the cannibals come down.
Yeah.
You got an ox.
80
right?
dB.
So that's what I'm going. I'm going to go to Cannibal Island.
Okay.
Jared.
I think I'm gonna swim to Cannibal Island as well.
Yes!
I'm 6'6".
He's banking on the pot too
the
small.
pirates are probably like little tiny people compared to me. So
No, they're cannibals.
They're
Come at
cannibals
me.
on that island.
yeah, come at me. Right? I'm gonna play as loud as I want.
Come at me,
Yeah.
bro.
They're
Cannibalistic pirates.
They're like Lilliputians.
Yes.
I'll use one of those awesome vintage gears and just throw it at them and like a cannonball. So
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, if you found a Gene Simmons axe bass, you could use it as an axe.
Perfect.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's one there.
Billy.
he would approve.
So it's rum versus yum. Is that the deal?
What?
Bear? What? Cannibal versus bare bones. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Cannibal versus bare bones. I'm going bare bones, baby. There's nothing
all
that
you
beats a
need.
Telecaster and a classic 30. That's
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
just crank it up, play it,
All right.
please all the pirates, get all the rum
fun.
that I can
be
drink
great.
for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the rum's always gone. So good luck.
It doesn't say that in there. Come on.
Yeah.
No, but the rum's always gone.
Oh, there's never enough rum.
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
It's an old pirate thing.
Oh.
Yeah, the rum's always gone.
Oh,
Anyways.
right.
Yeah, anyways, Johnny Depp, whatever. Okay, go ahead.
It was fun.
It's good. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
That was it.
Up yours, matey.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Billy and go to the classic 30 with the telly, so I can just crank up
Yep.
and
Okay.
rock out, dog.
All right. Okay, I dig it.
Todd.
I'm actually gonna go to Cannibal Island.
Yay!
We're in this together.
Because after Tony and Jared, they're gonna have to be on diets for the rest of their for years.
We'll probably kill him with cholesterol.
Yeah, I'm certain that I will win this out.
You can run faster than Jared
Run
and I.
faster. Yeah,
Yeah. I've lost some weight, so
Look out.
you just got to run faster than the guy behind you. All right.
pretty much.
All right. That was very fun. Thank you, James Bell and Lad.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was really fun. It was fun to do.
Thanks, Gabe Spell.
Tony,
Yes, Todd.
do it up.
Well, at this point of the show, Todd, we get to thank a special group of people. These are our executive producers. Now, you might be wondering, what's an executive producer? You
What's
might
an
be
executive
wondering,
producer, Tony?
You might be wondering, how do I become one?
How do I become one?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because becoming an executive producer is very easy. What is an executive producer? It's a person that makes this show possible.
That's right.
How do you become one? Go over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can participate. Become a sponsor, a patron of this very podcast. Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts and opportunities to win things and a handwritten note from Todd Novak.
Whoa.
Woo! That's worth the price of admission right there. But in addition to all that great stuff, there's one thing more. Jared?
That's right. You get to have your name read on the thing.
Your name read on the thing, so that's what I'm going to do right now. So special thanks to these executive producers. Moon Guitars, Vader and Pedals, John Halverson, Rick Calhoun, Trevor Gunberg, Elad Mizrahi, Mike D, Richard Kendall, Mark Garton, Matt Hart, James White, Justin Jones, Anthony Gemalero, Bill Gola Guitars, John Esterly, Anthony Lathrop, Stefan Lamb, Michael Senchuk, Ken Sayers, Doug Christ, Darren Gregory, Tom Barazin, Rusty Sneeden, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Don Kloss, Gregory Randall, Brett Hogarth, Eric Hemmer, Stuart George, Michael Furman, Andrew DeHaan, James Bell, Arg, and James Romer. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you.
Perfect.
Oh, but Todd,
Yes.
please do not interrupt, because there's a very special group of executive producers that we call our Grand Poobahs. These are the creme de la creme, the top of the heap. when it comes to executive producers, I guess. So special thanks to these grand poobas: Tommy Manasco, Ricardo Igreda, David Kaminga, Brandon Wound pickups.
That's right.
Hex Matos, Michio Murakishi, Bob Crouch, Jack Cadian, Sam Jett, Tyler Rhines, LSJ Music Company, John Williams, James Pennington, Adam Johnson, Steve Keys, Cody Foster, Science of Sound, Brian Robison, Jonathan Jerusik, Corey Nigro, Michael Van Zant, Tim Nowak, Jonathan Daly, Martin Cliff, Sean S. Yes. David Poe, Billy Spitfire Unlimited. Woo. Congregation Gear Demos, Paul Van Eppinger, Scott Sullivan, and new this week, Great Lakes Guitar Pickups. Welcome aboard.
Indeed. Thank you so much. That is awesome, awesome news.
Yep. He's
Thank
a good
you guys, truly, all of you helping out there.
We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Eric Merrow,
Yes, sir.
please tell the world, or at least the people that are listening,
All the listener. Tell all the listener.
where they can connect with you.
Yeah, after I've run off all the listeners, you can connect with me. The easiest place is probably Instagram to like start a conversation. Again, it's at Eric Merrow, EricMerrow. If you want to see the videos that I make, you can go on YouTube, search my name, same spelling. That's probably the easiest way.
Perfect.
Nice.
Tanya.
Head over to pickguardian.com. Check out some of the things that I do, things that I sell. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you need, what you're trying to do.
If
and
you just got a new guitar like a bunch of us or whatever, want to spruce it up a bit,
if you want to make your guitar write songs for you, put a new pickguard on it.
that'll do it.
It's guaranteed.
It's science.
I have a 1974 that I'm going to need that pickguard for. It's done. So
Whoa.
I'll be
Oh.
seeing you real soon, Tony Balonski.
All righty.
What's
I'll take care of
74?
you, Jared.
What's
And if you guys want to get a hold of me, you just go to jared.allen.brandon on Instagram. Throw me a message and we can talk about gear, all the fun stuff.
Sounds good. Billy?
You can reach me at Billy Spitfire on Facebook, Billy Spitfire Unlimited for my art stuff, and Billy Spitfire on Instagram.
Perfect.
There you go.
And check out Mathematics.
Yeah, my band Mathematics, punk band from
Spotify.
Columbus, Ohio. We're on all the major sources for songs.
Yes.
And my cover band, The Flins.
The Flins.
It's a Rolling Stones cover band.
Yeah.
We're playing coming up there at Flanagan's
Okay.
here in Columbus.
Flynn,
April
the
26th.
Flynn's at
Flanagan's.
Flanagan's.
Perfect.
Yep.
You can shoot me an email, todd@theguitarknobs.com. You can also email, Instagram me. DM me on Instagram. DM. You can show me a message on Instagram at Guitar Knobs. And please, I would also say, check out Flint Effects on Instagram. We have we got our shop activated now. So
Is that your Rolling Stones cover?
no. So briefly, Flint Effects. If you've got a Line 6 HX Stomp, if you have and including the XL, if you have one of the new Valiton GP 200s, if you've got the Eventide H90 or the Ampro 2, we have got something that is going to help protect those super sensitive control knobs that are controlling all of these amazing effects. They're $10 a piece, and they make your stuff look great and protect it. So
Yes.
check us out. You can buy it right off of Instagram now too, which is
Oh, that's
super
cool.
fun. Yeah, and check out the Valentinos. We got some new singles coming up. I'm very excited about that.
Nice.
I got the message from John that everything's been mastered, and it sounds freaking awesome. I can't wait to release those. And other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for Eric. Eric, thank you.
Eric, thank you.
Thank you for having
the
me.
ladies and
Nice
gentlemen,
show.
for stopping by. It was great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Hey, everybody, have a fantastic Guitar Week and subscribe!
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh, sorry. Beep.
Potty mouth.
Yeah. Hey, my name's Vince.
What are you talking about?
I don't want to be a pirate. This guy wants me to be a pirate.
You don't have to be a pirate.
All right.
That one is a little wonky.
Just my style.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when it will get there.
It's not long and winded, is it?
Those are your favorite ones to do, man.
Oh, no.
We're tightening.
Well, I was planning on
Billy's-
dancing, but
Fire it up, man.
What's this from?
Walking down the street.
Where's this from?
Who's this from, Jared?
I don't.
It's
from No Subject.
No.
No.
Oh,
Talking about?
sorry about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, what? Here we go. All right. Stop it. I think Billy might have gone out to fart.
Yes.
That's what he does.
He's
He goes
polite
out there
that
to
way.
fart.
Ye be walking down the plank after ye crew has mutilated against
Mutinied.
Mutinied.
Man.
I'm falling asleep here. Come
Shut
on.
it.
Yes. My mother did that to me once. Once.
That's what it says in the text, doesn't it?
I just like to double check because you've been known to be wrong before.
Dorothy.
From that bloke, James Bell.
Thank you, James Bell and
Yes.
Lad. And Lad.
Ha-ar. Me hearties.
What?
Just get a bunch of rubber bands and just wrap them around everything, and it'll be better. Let's move on.
I don't want to be a pirate.
I'm ready. Okay.
And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.